All right. All right. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to take one more second to wish, before I say anything else, good luck to all the athletes who are going to be racing at St. George 70.3 World Championships. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a cool day out there, but that just means that the engines can run hotter. Believe in yourself. You're ready. You're ready for this, and I promise you all the nerves will go away as soon as the gun goes off. So I had a fun thought. It's Halloween. People like to dress up. Obviously, there's a lot of scary movies out there. And I started to think to myself, as a triathlete myself, I think the scariest thing that I can think of for Halloween this year is the idea that next year I will have not improved. And so many athletes go through so many years not improving, sticking with the same systems that they do every year prior. And so I'm going to challenge you, if this is you, if you want to get better next year, to maybe think outside the box a little bit. And obviously here at Superfly, we'd love to help you, but I would recommend whatever solution that you do seek out. I have a couple of key things that I think that you should look for in whatever, whoever you ask to help you, so that you get the type of results that we get here for all of our athletes at Superfly. You obviously need to have somebody with knowledge. That goes without saying, right? And I think that a lot of people out there check that off. They take a lot of courses, they get a lot of certifications. That's easy to do, I guess, but what becomes more hard are the other things that I think are super critical in order to making sure that you are, as an athlete, getting the best help that you can get, and then making sure that you can take the steps forward that you want to be taking the next year, so you're not once again in the same situation. There's actually three. The first is experience. So you can have knowledge, but you really need to have somebody who can pair that with experience. Someone who's been there, done that, can guide you through what it's like to go through that, to make sure that they can help you address and understand what you might be going through. And that comes down to the bonus one that I'll give at the end here. And so I'll come back to that. The other one that I find is beyond more than even very critical, even more than knowledge of oneself, is having a network of people who are smart around you, so that you can provide that network to that athlete when you as a coach get stuck. And if you're a coach and you're not ever willing to admit that you're stuck to an athlete, that's not doing your athlete a service. And athletes, if you have a coach that's willing to tell you that they have a network that might be able to help you a little bit beyond, in addition to what they're already doing for you, that's fantastic. So I have accumulated, for example, dozens of people in my career that I've placed around me to do things like run evaluations, swim evaluations, metabolic tests, nutrition, blood testing, psychology. All these things go into things that help athletes depending on what they are specifically struggling with in order to take the next steps. And a lot of times what I find is coaches get so afraid that athletes are talking to other people, maybe because they think they're going to lose them as a client or something like that, and that's crazy. That's not helping you as an athlete move forward. You need to make sure that you're with somebody that has the right amount of ego, that they know they can help you, but they can also put that aside so that they are willing and able to facilitate the information that you need to help you achieve your goals going forward. The last one before I get to the bonus one is empathy. And I think empathy is so critical. I find all the time really good athletes that want to become coaches, and then I see a lot of time where athletes hire athletes that have been or had really good results. That may be a great way to go, but it doesn't mean that they can help you necessarily with where you're stuck. So trust me, I've tried tons along the way, and sometimes I have found that, yeah, I get some really great advice from some fast athletes, but then at the same time, I find that those fast athletes can't comprehend why I was struggling. So, for example, I started out very out of shape. When I was doing triathlon in the early 90s is when I started. I had a breaststroke most of the swim. I walked most of my 10Ks, and this was already after I already got in shape enough to join the Marines, where I couldn't run a mile or a mile and a half. And for example, I really wanted to desperately improve my run, and so I would go hire run coaches that would simply tell me I just needed to run faster. That's not necessarily helpful. I needed to find people who could understand why I couldn't run faster, and then help give me the tasks that I needed to do to take the next steps so that I could eventually run faster. And then my bonus one that I want to get to that I think is critical, and I tried to tease this the other day, and the picture I used didn't really go well, but I always like to talk to people about how you can have these cooking classes, right? And this is a great example, and I love this example that I came up with because we have these shows that we see, and people have the same ingredients, they have the same access to the same facilities, the same utensils, the same ovens, the same mixers, whatever. And so that's a really representation of your fitness. So even if you have the ability to get the same fitness as other people on the start line, how you execute with that fitness is so important and so critical. And we see that even on cooking shows where you can get totally different results with everybody having the same opportunity and the exact same resources, just go totally different ways. And that goes back to experience too. And you need people that can help, that you want to surround yourself with people that have those experiences to help you translate your fitness and your ingredients into what it is you're trying to cook so that you can create something amazing. Because it would be a real shame and scary, going back to the workout or going back to the title of this live, to do all the work, accumulate all the ingredients, and then not really sure how to use them in the kitchen or how to execute them and put them together on race day. So I'd love to chat with you. I put a link in here if you want to do a free consult. One example I use a lot, and I'm seeing this, and I would challenge everybody, whether you use me or not, is this is a great time of year. People really try to work on their running and their swimming, which goes back to our earlier live. I have facilitated where we're going to do some swim evaluations, but then in addition to that, for some of our athletes that we're going to be working with, and like for our squad, for example, we're going to be doing some 5K running for Thanksgiving because that's usually fun. People usually do a 5K, 10K. We're going to take that as a baseline, ideally pair it with a metabolic test, which, going back to experience and network, you need to do the right metabolic test and you need to be looking for the right numbers. It's unbelievable to me how many people get the wrong type of testing information, and just being able to set the test equipment up to tell you, and the protocol up, and then the ability to interpret the data in a meaningful way that you can use that information to make real changes going forward. It goes back to cooking class where, again, same information, same utensils, but you have to know how to use them. So if you're interested in talking about that, or if you're interested in learning how we're going to use the 5K or 10K to set our season up for success, and then we're going to come up with, I think it's an 8-week program for our January 14th half marathon that we're going to do here, but I'm going to be posting those workouts on my squad page. There's a link down there. It doesn't cost anything to have a chat, or if you want to chat about things that you've been dealing with and been struggling with, I'm happy to give you a free consultation. You can take the information and leave, or if you decide to work with us going forward, that would be awesome. But good luck if you're racing, and I'll see everybody else in a few days, I'm sure. Bye.